We're joined by Baz. How are you doing?
How you doing, Russ? You all right?
Not bad, kid. Not bad. What you on with?
Actually, I just got back from a run. Like you said, you just been to the gym. I just went for a run. I was listening to that link you sent me. I just went for a little, just a few K to keep the cobwebs away.
Yeah. Look at that there. You see it in corner, that pigeon. In corner there.
Right?
It fell out in a tree yesterday and I got it on film. I'm like David Attenborough, aren't I?
Oh, that's mad. That we had the pigeon whisperer. I thought he brought a message for you from Saudi. I thought he brought some inside information.
We're from Tea Towel
Let the
Turkey.
scroll out.
With all these boxers that are absolute brasses at the moment, the sport is on it. It's been turned on its head. We've now got Andre Ward direct messaging Big Meech, Anthony Joshua, saying, let's fight. I mean, because he don't have to make weight now, Ward. Is he just going to sell his O? Or would he beat Joshua? They all want that, don't they? It's pure greed, isn't it, Jazz?
Well, there must be some rumours going around about Joshua that he's absolutely shot to pieces. Why does everybody and the man want a piece of Anthony Joshua now?
Well, you want, yeah.
Everybody wants Anthony Joshua.
Well, it's commercials
Yeah.
galore, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've noticed. Did you see the Gads interview on Talksport where he said Tea Towel Turkey offered Usyk 125 million US dollars to fight Moses Atoma if Moses beats White? I mean, so
Yeah.
Moses has had 25 rounds as a pro, like you do, which works out at 59 and a half minutes. Let's say he does White in 3 or 4 rounds. He's had just an hour and a quarter in ring or under. He's going to get in there with Usyk. He'll get ruined, but the good thing about it is they're going to get paid, and they can always say it's a win-win because we got beat by an all-time great, and we got experience off it, and they got paid. And do you think the housewife's favourite, Francis Warren's going to knock 20, 30 million back to get in there with Usyk? We're not going to do it, are they? Because they don't know how long this Saudi thing's going to be going, do they? You see where I'm coming from?
Well, they're so happy, aren't they? I mean, have you seen that video Derek Chisora did where he's walking through that first class on the plane and it's the who's who of boxing. He's going, there's Warren, there's Queensbury, hello Eddie Hearn, oh Andy Ruiz, how you doing? And he's just going through and everyone's so happy. They're all in first class. They're all off over to Saudi for a jolly up. They've all become Muslims. Alhamdulillah, all praise be to Allah. You know, they're all talking about God. I just watched a video with um, Dillian White. I've never heard him mention God so much, and then all of a sudden he's having to go at everybody else that's mentioning God. I'm like, but this is it. They're all brass houses. Look, I get it. It's a load of money. And this is the thing about Turkey, right? He's got more money than sense. That's all it is. This kind of money that's getting thrown around. Why wouldn't you be happy? Why wouldn't you be out there saying yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir? I know I'd have a bit of that too. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot easier than going and working at Sainsbury's, isn't it, for 40 hours a week?
Yeah, it is, mate. But you've got to look at it like this. It's not so long ago that Bricktop and Chisora were going at it with lawyers, weren't they? And half
I
of them,
know.
I mean, how many battles have Hills lot had with Bricktop? Now all of a sudden, this is my new best friend. Absolute brass houses.
Oh, mate, I love it when you do that friends thing. Friends
Oh,
with
John,
Turkey.
Elmer Fudd.
Frank Warren.
I once got
Yeah.
Mark
Um,
fight to some.
the thing was though, I gotta give it. We got a lag.
What?
Is your Wi-Fi all right, Russ? Because my Wi-Fi is on point today, mate. My Wi-Fi is on steroids
Can
today.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, it's all right then.
Uh-huh. I've got to give it to Frank Warren though, because I was thinking about him, and do you remember those days when he used to moan about, well, we've got the button now. You know, we've got the button now where you can buy the pay-per-view on Sky. This is what we've been wanting. Those days where Box Nation were just getting the scraps. They just wanted anything. They looked like they were going to go under. Eddie Hearn had all the fighters.
Bill Ives propped him up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Raynham Steele propped him up before he died.
And now look at him. What a
Well, they've
comeback.
gone from Rainham Steel having the teeth into him, some old codger, may he rest in peace, to Triple T. And it wasn't so long ago, Bricktop was saying, these people, the human rights out there is terrible. That and Stubble were having questions asked in House of Commons as soon as they got a chance to work with Stubble. And out there in Saudi, they were off like a rocket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
well, that's
what it
it.
is. Let's move on. Right, Jake Paul and Joshua. Are we going to end up with one on slab, Jazz?
I've thought about this a lot, and I think what's going on here, we're all getting bent over. It's just a publicity stunt. I can't believe it's really going to happen. I think it's clickbait. I think something else is going to come out. There's going to be another fight for both of them. But what they're doing now, they've probably behind the scenes, Wizard of Oz, look behind the curtain, they're pulling the levers, and all it is I want some of your fans. You can have some of my fans. Let's do this song and dance for a bit, and then we'll go our separate ways. See you in future.
See social media getting involved in boxing again. Eddie's become obsessed by it, hasn't he, last 15 years. And social media is now dictating because this guy with big giant chin and ginger beard, he's slipped himself into the mix, hasn't he, this Jake Paul? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, again, Eddie Hearn, actually, he foresaw it coming because do you remember when it wasn't even IFL TV, it were I Film London 2010. Eddie Hearn were paying Coogan 500 quid a week to follow him round and interview him and interview his fighters. Coogan had made that with that James Helder. They'd made that company up, and they liked acting, they liked movies, and I guess through his boxing, because Coogan were Ricky Hatton's bodyguard, wasn't he? And I guess through his connections,
it was Jane Couch that got him that job through Carlton Leach, and he weren't no bodyguard. He was just a tag along because he's a big gangly lump, and he can't fight for toffee. I'd put him away inside 1 minute.
yeah, he's really good though at blowing smoke up people's asses.
Half, mate. I've bend him, mate. Coogan.
Yeah.
Bend you. Let's have it on Misfits for charity, RSPCA. Oh, Jesus.
He'd be gone after a minute anyway. He's the chain smoker, isn't he? He smokes all the time.
Scout, mate. He's a Cub Scout. I feel sorry for him in a way because he's a bit of a pioneer, although he did copy Ellie Seckback. He's a pioneer, but he got in with Eddie Hills, the Iceman, who's never had a fight in his life, never had to overcome adversity whatsoever. That's having no respect for him. At least Bricktop's had to overcome adversity, coming from a council estate. Hills hasn't. So I've got more respect for Bricktop. But let's have it right. He's got about 20 faces to his name. Pop, pop, back. You know what I mean? But,
it's funny how they both came from the amusement industry, didn't they? Bricktop and what's Eddie Hill's dad called? Barry Hearn. They both came from that background of renting out cigarette machines, renting out pool tables, renting out fruit machines, and they both got into it. It's a mad one that you couldn't make it up. How they both were in two different industries, same industries, and then competing against each other. Then get into boxing.
Didn't they at one point? Didn't they? Barry Epstein and Bricktop. They got piled up, didn't they, with that IMG or some? Didn't they do something with snooker? And Bricktop lost his dough, and he went never again.
Right. Yeah.
Book, Being Frank. That's about 15 years ago. I think that might have been his first book. Look, mate, it is what it is, isn't it? Look, they're all best friends now, going out with the wives. Aren't they? Everybody's friends now. Isn't it amazing what a few quid does to them?
Well, I'm wondering who's going to come out on top, because it's interesting because they've all got I'm telling you, they've all got the knives behind their back. Like they're holding hands with each other. They've got knives behind their back. So who's going to come out on top? Turkey and the Sheiks or Frank and Eddie? Who have you got your money on? Because they're not going to, when they've squeezed all that juice out at both sides, that's when we're going to see who's really intelligent. Now, is it going to come to book smart? Is it going to come to street smart? I'd back Frank all the way. My money's on Frank.
Listen, this is how I look at it, right? I don't want to see Super Bean Adam Smith, a born liar, talking cancer stories and coming on social media every other day like the God, saying boxing's booming. There's 6 belts there. WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, IBO, Ring Magazine, 6 belts. Usyk's got the lot. We haven't got a belt at heavyweight. We have one other belt for males, Nick Ball. So don't fucking tell me boxing's booming in this country. They're all filling the boots while telling us another story. All right, we have one world champion, Nick Ball, and if you walk down the street, nobody'd know who he is. So don't tell me it's booming, Super Bean, with your lying stories about cancer. You're a gambler and you owe dough out. That's why you got sacked at Sky. Come and tell the truth. That's why you didn't get your send off at Sky, you born liar. Hey, I want to try new things. I want to try different things. You work in boxing. You're a licker. End of. Fucking gambler.
Yeah, what did he do? What did he gamble on? What
Got
did
in
he
debt,
try
didn't
and?
he? There were heavy guys going to Sky. They got rid of him, mate. Why don't you come out and tell the truth? If I'm lying, sue me. And I'll get Celia to wipe floor with you in court. You weapon. Telling lies, man. No time for Super Bean. Liar. Liar.
Look, Ross, I am loving this energy, pal. This is like you're back in your
No
car.
time for them lot. No time whatsoever. Boxing's booming. We had 14 world champions, didn't we, at one point? I remember when it was 7 years ago and they were all raving about it. Well, we've got one male world champion. We don't count the women no more. One male world champion, Nick Ball. Put some respect on the man's name because it's exciting. And that's it. But boxing's booming. Usyk's just wiped the floor with our best heavyweights. Just wiped the floor with them. So don't tell me boxing's booming, Super Bean. Who told you to say that? Somebody at DAZN or TalkSport. It's not booming. We've got one world male champion. You weapon.
Usyk stole Joshua's line, didn't he? On all of them. It was so nice. I had to do it twice. He two-timed them all.
I'm surprised he didn't use that Elmer Fudd one. He's my friend and I like him. He gave me a t-shirt. I stayed at his house. He's my friend.
He's my friend. He's my friend.
I'm so proud of him. He's just punched the hell out of me and I'm so proud of David Allen. Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Right. Elmer Fudd's gone to Tony Sims, as I called it 6 weeks ago, when they all said they were inventing knackers. I'm trying to lead people into a story. Then Thibault's come out and he said his bit, and I put it out there first. And what did I say? He told them you need 3 or 4 fights before you rematch the lazy rhino. They went, no, 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 no. The fat dad got involved, didn't he? Hey, Daddy Fudd, aka Chinese, Japanese, wobbly knees, and pie and peas for his breakfast. He got involved. And what happened? Got put on button moon by a lazy rhino with a pot belly who don't even train hard. So imagine if he trained, he would have done him inside a round. So he's in the wilderness now, Elmer Fudd, but they've got to bring him back. So he's gone to Sims lot because they need to stay mixed with Eddie. But if he gets beat again, where are they then? Anybody can beat him in top 500. He's that garbage, isn't he? He's garbage. He's open as out. He's not compact, is he? As soon as he lands out, he's admiring his punches, like some novice amateur. What's all that?
So Tibbs, he's left Tibbs. There was something going on there because I remember. Do you remember that press conference before? Tibbs was kind of out of character. Do you remember when he started going, "Because we love the money"?
Who was saying that?
Tibbs, Mark Tibbs.
Oh, you're trying to wipe it up. Well, he does like a pound note, does Mark?
Well, I was wondering, I was thinking back now and I'm thinking, was that passive aggressive at them? Because maybe he said to them, look, we need 3 or 4 fights. And they said, oh, no, mate, we can't turn down this money. So were it tongue in cheek?
Well, he might have been having a dig at them because they're greedy, but let's have it right. Once they beat Babbitt, who's a blown up cruiserweight, once they've done him and got an area belt on the board, which is one of the 6 levels in it, area, English, British, Commonwealth, European, and World. Once they got that on board, he thought he was Jerry Cooney, didn't he? Elmer, the Great White Hope. Well, he did.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. And they thought Dave were going to be easy pickings.
Yeah, I remember a few years back, Mark Tibbs rang me up and said, can you get him any sparring? I said, yeah, Peter Fury's. He went up there for a week, stayed there. He's my friend. Peter Frew is my friend. I would never fight you. We had lunch together. Look, you can't be everybody's friend in boxing, Elmer. Do you know what I mean? You're a big stiff lump, but you've got the heart of a pea. You've got the heart of a pea. You're not a boxer. You were never a rugby player. Go and get a job at Witherspoon's on the door. Get a big long black trench coat and stand on the door £100 a night. Pop, pop, bang. That's all he's good for. Big stiff.
But do you know, I saw Dave. I saw an interview with Dave the other day, and I thought he was quite honest.
Oh, so not another interview with Rhino.
He's doing all right, isn't he?
Shouldn't he be resting?
He's doing all right, isn't he? He's getting on Talk Sport and everywhere now, and his channel's kicking off. But
I've seen a lot of talking, but I'm not seeing much fighting.
He's got too much food in his mouth. But that's what I was going to say. And he should be resting, because I don't think Dave's a bad trainer. I think he's a bad sleeper, and I think he's a bad eater. I don't think he looks after himself. I don't think he gets his correct sleep, and he ain't getting his correct nutrition.
Who says that's that? Where he's done that many stories on social media over the last 10 years. Nobody knows where we're going here with this. Operation Rhino 28.4. We don't know what we are, mate. We've heard everything, haven't we? And everybody's all jumbled up. It's just shit for talking shit.
That's mate, what were we doing against David Price?
Chatters.
Yeah. I watched an interview with the Hardcore's Hardcore. Man, I'm forgetting his name now. Your mate, Hardcore's Hardcore. Kent, yeah. And Kent can't stand talking about Dave, can he? He can't stand it.
Oh, you mean that one with me?
Yeah, he's had enough.
What it is with Kent, if I can get a word in here, what it is with Kent, he likes to support people that put their effort in training camps, because he's ex-amateur fighter, isn't he? If you're not putting your effort in training camps and you're slobbing about on social media, giving everybody advice, and we've got Rhino on TalkSport ringside giving advice about boxing, right? Well, shouldn't we have somebody that's at least won a British title ringside, or a European or a world? Not somebody that's not won any of those 6-level belts, side at ring, giving advice, big beard, hair all over, belly hanging out. I don't think that's a good look for your expert analysis at side at ring. Do you? Stood with Juggies Oliver, who can give advice because he's won stuff in the past. The Gad shouldn't be able to give advice at side. He's not a pundit. These people are journalists. They're not fucking pundits just because they're comfortable in front of the camera. They should be the journalists, right? So in my own personal opinion, Yaz, no, he shouldn't be giving advice about what Daniel DeBar should be doing. Should he really? Come on, because Daniel DeBar had flogged Dave on spot, wasn't he? What, you telling me because he beat Johnny Fisher, he's now got a chance against DeBar? He's pissing up my leg, Yaz.
No, but nobody's ever stopped Dave, have they? Nobody's put him down. And if he gets things right, and that's the thing with Dave, and we know he's got ability and he can survive. And someone to get like Dubois, who we know can swallow it. I don't know what's going on between his ears. That's a big thing with boxers. Obviously, same thing with Dave. So I don't think it'd be cut and dried, that fight. Although, yeah, if gun to my head, I'd definitely go for Dubois. But I don't think it'd be cut and dried.
Yoker, Ortiz, and David Price stopped Dave Allen.
Yes, stopped him, but on his feet.
What do you want? It's a stoppage, isn't it? What's it go down as on box rec?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Dave's a funny one because, I mean, you know, he's his own worst enemy. But hopefully, Jamie Moore's going to sort him out. Hopefully, Jamie Moore.
He's a good gunner, Jamie Moore, isn't he? Well, we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to see. But if they'd have put him in with Parker, Wilder, or Joshua, would you have been worried for Dave taking punishment?
Parker, I would be. Parker's too much for him right now.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. Before he beat Fisher in rematch, would you have put him in with Joshua, Wilder, and Parker? Yes or no?
No.
So what did he show you against a limited white collar level guy that makes you feel he can share ring with Wilder, Joshua, and Parker?
Well, I think
trainer, Jamie Moore, who goes on constantly about safety is paramount for fighters. They were willing to. Would they be willing to put him in with them big punches? Of course, they're going to get paid as well, aren't they? You see what
He
I'm
wants. I do see where you're coming from, and my argument back would be that now he's incentivized because he were in wilderness, wasn't he? He went with Dennis. He had a few fights. He was
Why did he
completely
go
in
with Dennis?
wilderness.
Why did he go with Dennis?
Nobody wanted to touch him. They thought he would damage goods, and he would just.
Six fight deal, got his send back in picture, started a YouTube channel. Dennis got his fat drink off a Fraser Clark fight. Bye bye, Dennis. I'm in mix now.
That's
So,
right.
would you say Rhino was cunning like a fox?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Why is that? Well, he's been around Ingles, he's been around Furies, and he's been around Dennis, and he's picked everything up and he's computerizing it in his head. And quite rightly so, after what happened with that DeBoss episode with Eddie and Barker and all that shit. So I hope he gets paid. He deserves a good payday, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, and he's got
early in his career when he should have been nurtured.
And he's got a missus now. He's got kids now. Like I said,
and everybody. And we
but it does
get on our knees and start notching him because he's got a bird and kids. We've all got kids and birds, haven't we?
No, but it does change you. It changes your priorities.
Mate. Let's buy a ticket to a Rhino fight. He's now got kids to feed. I want to see somebody get Rhino in shape. I want to see abs. I want to see him in the ring looking like a professional athlete, not slobbing about and then sat at ringside after being flogged, saying, "Oh, the crap camp and that, and I could have trained harder." Don't want to see that again. I want to see him in the shape. I don't want to hear all that stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet and then going into the ring like Mr. Blobby. Don't want to see it. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. Don't want to see it. There's far more deserving kids that are putting the effort in. But how it's gone now with social media is if you're shooting your mouth off on social media, especially most of these fighters who want to eat off the plate I'm eating off as well as the other people's plates, put some effort in and look the business. Look in shape. And that's why Kent has a pop at him. Let me say Kent don't like him. Kent loves the sport, doesn't he? Probably more than me. But if you're not putting effort in and you're getting chance after chance after chance, it's wrong if you're walking around with a big derby on you. What we're going to have in another 10 years? The Rhino, Operation 78.6, coming back, facing Butterbean or something. Is this what we're going to have on Misfits? Is this where we're going? Hey, social media's killed the sport. It was good at the beginning. Now, people don't want to put effort in camp. Well, we'll just get on Twitter or YouTube and chat a load of knackers, get some fans who will buy tickets. And your promoters like Dennis and them will have them on shows. Listen, I remember Perry Howe coming up to officers. Dennis is like, don't you be starting. Perry's on his way up. I goes, oh, that bin man. He's a bin man. So he came up and I just says, get an area belt and I'll jump in River Don naked. And what did he do? He never won no, did he? He never won any of them level belts. He didn't do it. But he were doing 500 tickets a show. Do you see where I'm coming from? Can't fight for Toffee. Tommy Frank were doing loads of tickets. Can't fight for Toffee. Josh Whale punched him up in sparring, made him cry. Oh, you can't upset him. They're doing tickets, Russ. This is a garbage. Just knocked a British title fight back with Sonny Edwards. Him and his team, Glen Road. Oh, we'll go around outside. I said, Dennis, why don't you just say he's shitting his pants? If you're knocking British title fights back, you're not a boxer. What are you in the game for? You're offered a British title, put some respect on the belt. So I don't speak to them either. Tommy Frank. Yeah. Oh, Glyn. They should be embarrassed. But they got a British in end, didn't they, by default? Let's have it right. By default. So no wonder I lose my fucking head with this sport.
British title days are gone, all that kind of stuff, all that prestige. Yeah. Of
course they are. You can speak to Joe Gallagher. He'll tell you, isn't it about time we started putting some respect on the British title? It's about time we started doing that, isn't it, really, don't you think? Instead of all this trinket shite that's crept into the sport, people running around with Conor Benn, WBA Continentals. I think Rhino's got one now. Is it the lowest WBA belt of the lot? It's like that British Masters belt. Do you remember that? I remember this kid at Dennis. I forget who it were now. Kane, might have been Kane Salvin or one of them. I think it was. Dennis, are you going to get a belt from him? He goes, oh, check if there's a British Masters belt available. We'll stick that on poster. I'm like, I said, what? Can you do that? He went, oh, yeah, just check with board. and that's it. That's why you might as well give him a fucking snake belt, aren't you? From Mecky Market. Do you know what I mean? So look, promoters run boxing. You know that, and I know that. What's the point in Joseph Parker being the WBO interim, and everybody saying he should be fighting Usyk next? If Turkey can just turn around and say, right, Andy Lee Parker, here's a drink, step aside, it's Moses and Usyk, pop, pop, bang. Who's going to question that? The promoters aren't going to. They're going to sit there with their arm around Parker and say, look, you'll get your chance, son, but just not yet. It's a bit like when I used to say to my dad, oh, I want a bike this year. My dad would go, maybe next year, son, maybe next year. Do you know what I mean? One of them jobs. But it just winds me off the clock. And Parker's team are unhappy now with the situation, aren't they? Have you noticed?
Yeah, and Cabayal, because I mean he beat Zhilei Zhang, didn't he? And you'd have thought he'd have got something after that, and they're not being rewarded because it's the social media era. Like we've shared a few messages offline, and I've said I'm disheartened with it because it's morphing into this new sport now, and it's funny that Saudi's where all the oil is, because I was thinking that's a good analogy. Right now, there's this well that's been discovered, and they're going to get as much money out of it as they can. You know, all these promoters, the boxing, and then it'll come back, and there'll be it'll be more traditionalist then. But while there's money to be made, people are getting forgotten about. All the these lads that haven't got a personality that are just great boxers. They're getting forgotten about. It's all personalities now. It's how many pay-per-views you can sell.
And that means that it's gone the way of some sort of like wrestling. They're using that old Vince McMahon concept that he redid about 15 years ago. It's kind of like going that way now, and there's no stopping it now. It's a tidal wave, and I feel for these small hall shows in the UK. I mean, Sky are looking at letting people audition for it, and this is a list who I've heard trying to get in there with tenders. Ryan, obviously Rhodes, Sheffield. Dennis Hobson, Sheffield. Steve Goodwin, East London, isn't he? Joe G, Manchester. Izzy, Ahmed. They're all hanging around for them Sky dates. So why not Sky come out and make an announcement? You'd say Ryan would get in there because Horsecock's there, isn't he? Ingle connection. And why not give them all a chance? Give them all a couple of, not just one date, give them all a couple. They can't do any worse than Adrian Mole, can they?
No, I like that. Give them all a date. That's what they were
Give
going to
them
do
all,
back in the
well,
day when, yeah.
give them all. I mean, what we've got here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give them all 2 each, but the same 4 dates a year. No, sorry, that's the BBC one, isn't it? Give them
Yeah.
a couple of dates. They used to have 20 dates, didn't he, Eddie? Well, there's 5 promoters there. If they give them all 4 each, and let's see who's the best after 1 year. You can't just ask them to do one show and then judge them then, because you could have fighters getting injured and that, and or people pulling out over political issues like money. Give them all 4 dates each. These 5 promoters who have all got promoters licenses, or get a couple of more promoters and give them all 3 each. And let's see who deserves it. But it doesn't need to be an exclusive. Let them just have 3 or 4 dates a year, and I think boxing would get strong again. Then, do you know, like it did back in the day when they had like all them before Eddie got the soul deal he has. You see, that's what I think. Give them all a chance. Why not? It can't be
No,
any
it would.
worse than it is.
No, it's good. It's like that. Competition. It breeds progress. You know what I mean? It makes everybody up the game.
Yeah, it
Um,
does. Yeah, it does. What time is it?
time is it? It's 11:30.
Right. Billy Joe Sausages. He's been 51 and a half months out the ring. Billy Joe Saunders. Last time I seen him, he looked like Frosty the Snowman in a white fleece with a big old beard out here. Peter Sutcliffe job. He's coming back. He's going to have one at £175. Look, he's been out that long. His body will be normal, won't it? Now.
Is he coming back? I mean, he said he's coming back. He were on talk. He were on Talksport in that interview. He were betting. He said, "I'll bet you anything. I'll be back by the end of the year." They had that gentleman's agreement, and he never did. I think if he is going to come back, I was thinking about him when I was running today. I was thinking if he's going to come back, he needs to get away, and I mean away. Like it's no good not buying the stuff and putting it in the fridge or the cupboard. He's obviously around the run environment. It's too easy for him to go, yeah, let me order some food in. Or all right, lads, we'll have a little drink. I'll just be on the rum tonight. I won't have any lager or whatever's going on, whatever narrative's going on. He needs to go Eskimo land 3 months, 3, 4 months. Get on the Monjaro, get on whatever you need to get on, and get right. You know, it's that Rocky. It's Rocky. Is it Rocky 4 or 5 where he's running up them snow mountains? That's the only way he does it. He won't do it round here. He won't do it where he is right now. It's no good getting Ben Davidson to come live with you. It's not going to work. And I just don't see him coming back. I don't see him coming back.
No.
But who knows? Because Pacquiao's come back at 46, faster, stronger than a speeding bullet.
Yeah, what has been taking them special shakes.
Yeah.
Go on then, kid. Do you want to go on to part 2?
Part 2? All right.
In a minute. That were Yaz from near where I'm from. Loves himself, doesn't he, eh? Thinks he looks like Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's got more rattle than the dripping tap. That's about it. Thanks for liking and subscribing, leaving a comment. Please join us on part 2. Before you do, get that subscribe button in. Show some respect for the pork. Also, check the link posted in the comment section. All right, pinned to the top by Porky's Corner. That'll take you to my new sponsor, Human Nutrients. All right, on Booyaka.